Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of The Big Dream, where we interview founders from all around the world who moved to the US to chase the American dream. Today I am with Ulf Arnetz, the founder and CEO of Howwe, the software for the CEOs. So Ulf, thank you so much for being here and for sharing your story.
I'm Ulf from Stockholm, Sweden, and my business ideas have always been to prove a new trend and prove that it's a business need in Sweden first, and then expand quite fast to the US. What shocked me most when I came to the US was actually the working culture. I think that we are working at least as hard in Sweden as here in US, but the difference is that we also have vacations. And when we have quite long vacations, we're proud of it, and we know that the rest of the organization is actually doing an excellent job. So it's micro-delegating is something we believe in. Versus here in the US, it's almost that you feel a little bit of shame when you take vacation. It's a lot. I mean, first of all, it's a lot of private things, just what you could do in US and how it works in US, different cultures, etc., etc. But work-wise, we have an application for CEOs. An organization here in US normally means that it's the CEO has an organization which is at least 10 times as large as for the CEO in Sweden for a similar company, which means that we could make larger deals per customer. So that's the most interesting business-wise. The biggest mistakes I have done are like probably 200, especially when I came over here the first time, because this is the third time I prove something in Sweden and then start and expand in the US. But the first time I came over, I was quite well known in Sweden, written a management book. I was the entrepreneur of the year in Sweden. And then I came over here and thought, okay, how could I be well known in US? I'm nobody. I was actually quite scared. I'm nobody. But I was invited to a seminar with about 300 CEOs and C-level type of people participating. And I thought I was really smart, so I did a couple of slides first about Sweden and how successful we are per capita, and then some really interesting companies we have there that are really successful. And then the goal was to say, and in that country, I'm very successful. But the problem was that after like 7 minutes of this like 1 hour speech on the scene, I've lost the audience. So I very much made a decision for myself. Should I just leave the scene or should I continue the next 45 minutes? And I did. And it was the most terrible 45 minutes in my life. I don't see that as a problem. It could be a problem, when you haven't been here for a couple of weeks or something, but otherwise I don't have a problem with that. US have, and that's what I like with US. You have to be more on. You have to be. It's a much harder competition. I would say, business-wise, it have taught me so much. So that's for sure. It's so many positive experiences I have got here in the US, sometimes the hard way. I have been in many sales meetings with CEOs where they say you have 15 minutes and the door is there. If you're not, if I don't like the first 15 minutes, it's just to leave. That's one thing. You learn how to pitch, you learn how to present, and you learn to be very, very concrete if you have an offering of something similar. I have 2 brothers, and we are born up from 2 academic parents who told us to not start our own companies, and of course to stay in Sweden, to be safe. And my brother is living over here with his company in US. I'm here. And my third brother have several companies as well. So I don't think it had, maybe it had some sort of vice versa type of impact on me. I don't know. I'm very happy for that question because that's what I'm doing this time. So last time when I moved to Boston, actually, I had my business idea about a portal software. I hired very expensive executive vice president and a senior vice president for starting up the sales here in US. And they got high salaries, a part of the company, etc., etc. And it didn't take off the first 2 years. And I, as an entrepreneur, didn't know if it was the prices, how they were selling, the software, whatever, what was the problem. And after that, I took over myself and started. Then it really took off. So we became number 2 within this industry with offices in 13 countries. And we also got this global Fast 500 award, which means that we were one of the 500 fastest growing companies in the world during a period of 5 years. So what I'm doing now with my third company, which I'm starting over here, is that I move over here. I'm working with a very, very small team. And we are doing a lot of test selling and we have some customers. We are making sure that we are doing a good job with them before we expand. So this time, because we are right now going into the mode where we are raising money, and we are also going to build up the US organization. But this time, I will know after 3 months if it's a good EVP or not a good EVP, because I have done everything myself before that. It's actually the reason why I'm here, or at least a big reason why I'm here. So what happened to me in both my previous companies is that sooner or later, normally quite soon, you get to a situation where you win a customer and that agreement is at least 10 times bigger than what we have been able to sign in Sweden or Europe before that. And that feeling, I'm a little bit sick, but I like growth. But that feeling when you have that agreement and it's like 10 times larger, it's a significant larger than what the company had been able to sign before that is. It's just a great feeling. So that's one thing. The other thing which I really like, especially in New York where I live now, is that you get very straight answers. So it's not, if someone is saying yes, then it is really a yes. Versus in Sweden, some other countries, it could be much more that a yes means maybe, or maybe next year, or maybe in 2 years. So I like this style where it's tougher, but it's also much more straight. You have most of the advices, but my advice is to someone who is moving and want to build a firm here in the US. Be here, live here, do the test selling, do the testing, find out about competition, find out about how to position, how to get a very clear and faster message first. And if you don't live here as a founder of a company, you're taking a big risk. Because I did 200 mistakes when I moved over the first time, but I'm still making a lot of mistakes. But it's great to do mistakes because that's how you learn, and that's how you could repackage how you could present it in a better way. And for example, if you don't have trust enough, if something is too good to be true, you could actually deal with it. So I think that in order to have success in US and via US in the world, you have to be here. What our software is doing is it's sold to the CEO, and then it helps the CEO to get a buy-in from executives, managers, and especially all the employees. So they get aligned, but also that they could focus and accelerate what's most important. So our product is very much decreasing the timeline from the CEO decision, if it's a disruption or something, until all employees knows what they should focus on. And it's not only about that the return of investment is like 8 to 25 times already within a year for a mid-sized and large organization. That's outstanding. Also, the employee satisfaction scores are going up as well, because if you're further out in the organization, where as an employee, one manager is saying one thing, another manager is saying something else. So everything is important. So you never know if you're doing a good job or not. Everything is important, should be done yesterday. So this type of application, according to us and also according to Gartner and other analysts, is supposed to just explode from 2024. And we have been working with this for 12 years now. So we have all the references, all the proofs, all the KPIs, measurable return on investments, testimonies from Swedish CEOs and European CEOs. So it looks good.
That sounds great. All right, Ulf. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And we're going to wish you all the best with Howwe this year.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you for making this sport as well.